Welcome to the Sowing Seed Podcast. One guy's thoughts on family, faith, farming, and financial freedom. Now, here's your host, a former Air Force pilot, pizza delivery man, and gumball machine guru, Matt Miller.
I started reading the other day a book called Storybrand by a guy by the name of Donald Miller. He actually has a podcast, the Storybrand podcast as well, for those of you that are wanting to listen and learn more. But being that I've been in some sort of sales capacity for the last 25 years or so in one way, shape, or form, I've learned over the years, because I've been in the hunt so often for so long, the importance of keeping things simple and understandable. And in the first chapter or two of his book, he explains it in a certain way that just really, really made sense to me. And I thought that you might be able to benefit from it as well. He talks about how the fact that our brain is set up for survival. And so when we are attempting to learn something or to consume information, your brain is only going to allow so much energy or so many calories to be applied towards the understanding or learning of whatever it is. And so if we get bombarded with something that's overly complex and not easy to understand, most of us, our brains will shut off after a while, and we will stop absorbing, we'll stop learning, because the brain has gone into survival mode at that point. Man, that is so true. I know anytime I'm trying to take on a new task, I'll give you a great example. I just started, my daughter, Sarah, at the Cowboys game last Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. The Cowboys did not do well at all. They lost big time. We ended up spending a bunch of time hanging out and talking, and she gave me an Instagram education because I had heard about the growth of Instagram, etc. I had a couple of accounts, but I had not really done anything with them. And so she ended up taking time to teach me, because the game was not going well for the Cowboys. Well, there's a lot to learn. And so after probably 15 minutes or so of her showing me some basics and us doing a couple of posts, doing my first Instagram story, that type of thing, we stopped. And then over the last several days and over the holiday weekend, I ended up playing with Instagram a little bit here and a little bit there, teaching myself more and more and more about it. Because I have a pretty short attention span, number one, but number two, if I got too much at one time coming at me, my brain shuts off, because like Donald Miller talks about, the brain is in defense mode and energy conservation mode. So when you're trying to share a concept, when you're trying to sell an idea, when you're trying to do anything, understand the importance of keeping your message very, very short and very, very understandable, with very little complexity to it. Because if you don't, chances are you're going to lose people along the way. And somebody who might be a customer or a client or what have you, you may lose before you ever get the chance to work with them, because you tire them out just trying to explain and to go into all kinds of details that they don't need to know right now, and that their brain is not going to allow them to process. It's like, I'll give you an idea. I talk with prospective franchisees for our company, School Spirit Vending, all the time. And the due diligence process for the franchise is typically 4 to 6 to 8 weeks. Now, there's a range there because everybody's different, and some people make decisions more quickly than others. So those will get through the process in probably about a month. Those that need more details, it'll take longer. But that's not all done in one sitting. It's done over 4, 5, 6 sittings via video conference over that 4 to 6 to 8 week period of time. Because I've learned over the years that if you give too much information too quick, people get overwhelmed and their brain shuts down, just like Donald Miller talks about. So keep that in mind in your communications with people, whether it be customers, clients, co-workers, your kids, your spouse, and do all you can to keep your messaging simple so that you don't lose them halfway.
Thanks for listening. Check out our website, sowingseed.net, the Sowing Seed channel on YouTube, and if you got something out of today's podcast, give us a 5-star review on your podcast player of choice. Until next time, go plant the seed you need to succeed.